Welcome to The Lock Shop with Nielson and Hustler, powered by Coolbet Canada.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to The Lock Shop. Dusty and Huss with you. And Huss, you were right yesterday when you said we need something to celebrate our victories, because plus 575, two partner parlays in a row. You're 3-0 on the Lock Shop plays of the day too, right?
That is correct.
It's been a good week.
It's been a great week. And you know, it was funny. And anyone that saw it, again, subscribe to or just follow Coolbet Canada on Twitter and Instagram, and you'll get our daily play of the day, usually in and around 4 o'clock or so Central Time, 3 out west. I normally in the past, I have not put the play of the day in with the parlay. But 2 days ago, I really liked Boston, and that was the play of the day, and we had it in on the parlay. And of course, that one was a plus 900 banger. God bless you, Sidney Crosby. So yesterday when I was doing it, I said, you know what? It worked yesterday. We're going to ride with this again, and we're going to make the play of the day, Rangers in regulation. And it also happens to be part of our Coolbet exclusive. Check the exclusives and get on that. And listen, if you've been riding with me the last couple of days with the play of the day and us on the partner parlay, your account's probably looking pretty damn good. And man, it was a beautiful thing last night too, because we did have to sweat out that Ranger game. And we'll get to the Ranger game in a minute for the non-betting aspect of it all. But the Jersey Devils came back after being down 2-0, scored 3 in the second. And again, this was a regulation bet, so they needed to win in 60. And, I think it was Panarin that scored. Somebody tied it up. And then I'm like, okay, I gotta get this game on. And I tuned in with about 6 minutes left. They got a power play. Chris Kreider is just automatic around the net. I mean, that guy, the way he tips pucks in, but I did sort of think that as, you know, the laws of attrition fell into that game because of how many guys got kicked out right off the opening faceoff, that there might be a few more opportunities for goals to go in. And anyways, we got it. And then there's nothing better than getting the first 2 in and then looking at our late game and seeing the team we need up 2-0, 3-0. So the LA Kings actually came through as well. So yeah, plus 575 following up the plus 900. Can we go 3 in a row tonight? I guess we will find out.
Well, we will dive into the NHL slate, no doubt about it. That's certainly on the radar as well. If you are listening online at TuneIn, or on iHeartRadio, or at edmontonsportstalk.com. You can text us anytime, 780-218-9999. What did you hit last night? What did you miss last night? What are you on today? Any thoughts on the NHL slate last night that we'll certainly break down as well? Jake from Coolbet's going to pop by here around 11:25 this morning. He will join us to continue to set up the NHL slate, kind of dive into the weekend as well. The Wrestlemania picks will be coming on tomorrow's show, Huss, just to confirm. Okay.
Tomorrow, Wrestlemania preview. But it's all up there right now, and they even have Wrestlemania specials, if you can believe that. Almost like a wrestling parlay that the Coolbet folks have put together. So that is all up there. We will have some fun tomorrow getting ready for the granddaddy of them all. Wrestlemania 40. You want to feel old? Just let that percolate in your head for a little bit. The 40th WrestleMania is coming up. Remember Mr. T getting into, was it the first one?
I would have been like 3 years old, right? So WrestleMania began in 84?
I guess.
Would that have been? I guess if it's 40 in every year and they never missed a year. So I do not remember the first one.
Yeah,
but my favorite thing about is your picks. So we'll get to that tomorrow here on the. I mean, they've been running Roman Reigns and The Rock out a lot over the. What are they on Jimmy Fallon last? Like they're everywhere right now, right?
They are. You know, one of my favorite podcasts outside of Winnipeg Sports Talk, Edmonton Sports Talk, The Lock Shop, is the Podfather himself, Bill Simmons, and Simmons did a big WrestleMania preview with Ariel Helwani and David Shoemaker today that I kind of caught some of last night and this morning. And Wyshynski, by the way, for those of you that might be, used to watch it somewhat, but are sort of a, out of the loop, if you will.
This is me.
Wyshynski.
His thing is perfect for me.
Okay, yeah. So today, look at ESPN.com. I'm not sure if it's out already or it's coming up later, but it is a lapsed fan's guide to WrestleMania 40 with everything that you need to know about it all. But yeah, The Rock's back. He's going to be involved in it, and it should be a lot of fun. But we will definitely have some fun making some picks tomorrow for the big event, which is both Saturday and Sunday night, split over 2 days because it's just that big right now. Hey, listen, before we get I was just going to say, can we talk about this Rangers-Devils game?
Oh, we'll get to that. I was going to dive into the NHL slate last night. I was just going to also throw out there that over on my Crack Pack card breaks, we're going to do a wrestling break on Saturday. So I'm swinging by Wayne Sports Cards here in town this afternoon to see what they have for wrestling cards, and we're going to dive into it. We usually do it WrestleMania weekend. We did it last weekend, and a few of the Crack Packers were like, Dusty, or last year, and they're like, are we doing another WrestleMania break? I'm like, sure. Of course we are.
I have to, as a member of the Crack Pack and an occasional participant in it, I have to ask, how does a wrestling break work? Like hockey, you get a team.
Yeah, I think last year the what ended up happening was the boxes, if I recall correctly, only have like 6 or 7 cards in them. So we straight up do a draft of the cards after we crack them. Right, so I would determine the draft order. Somebody who have first pick get to pick whatever card they want, and then work our way through like that.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
Same type of thing when we do golf breaks, and we'll be doing a Masters break next week. So it's the same type of thing because there's just not so many cards that you have to worry about that. So yeah, it works out pretty well. Yeah, I'll tag you, Huss. I'll tag you.
Yeah, definitely. Hey, Joel from Northern Ontario. No, I thought I heard them say golf is Friday. Golf's always Wednesday because the tournaments start on Thursday.
You see Corey Connors?
Of course I saw Corey Connors. Well, and listen to this, dude. So yesterday, whatever, I'm putting in, I had Coolbet up when we're doing the lock shop, and I was putting in the picks for the partner parlay. So those were in already. And then obviously we got it up in the exclusives and I bet it there. But those, I don't know whether I had an extra window open, whatever. I had Rangers in regulation, Tampa, LA in, and then I clicked on our lock shop partner parlay for the golf, which was Connors, Billy Ho, and Benny on all to finish top 20. I put that in and parlayed it with the 3 hockey picks. So I actually have a 128-1 parlay now.
So alive.
For the lock shop partner parlay. I think I just put 5 on it. I wasn't sure whether it would actually work, but it did, which was awesome. So I'm quite aggrieved at Billy Ho right now, who's 3 over.
Yeah,
he needs to get it together. I mean, the good thing about this is the course seems to be playing relatively tough. I mean, Justin Lower, we may as well look at this right now. Lower's leading at 5 under par. You then have Corey Connors, who were on at 25-1. Denny McCarthy and Patrick Fishburne at 3 under, and then a big group including Patty's pick of Ludwig Aberg and Max Homa at 2 under. But it's not like everyone's putting up 8 unders. So Billy Ho at +3 right now is in a situation where, I mean, like, I would just like it if he could possibly birdie. Oh, he did just get a birdie. Yes, Billy, that's what we need. He's at 2 over. If he could get it close to even par by the end of this round, he's in. I mean, bottom line is you need your guy to make the cut. But I think that this course is playing tough enough that as long as he's in that mix, in and around par, for tomorrow, should be potentially able to make something happen. Benny on, tee off at around 2:30 today.
Hideki's not out there yet either, eh?
No, Matsuyama tees off at in an hour. I mean, Rory still hasn't gone out. I mean, there's still lots of players that haven't played yet, but anyways, nice start for Corey Connors, Mr. Valero, a 2-time champion, and I guess we'll get to tomorrow with Liv. By the way,
fellow Coolbet ambassador Pendy's
Absolutely.
17. Or he's through 17. He's even. T22.
Yeah, and Svensson is teeing off at the same time as Hideki as well, coming over then. So we'll be cheering for the Coolbet boys, of course. Hey, just before we get back to hockey and everything last night, speaking of golf, did you catch some of the interviews from the media day at Live Miami?
No, I did not. Give me the goods.
So now all the guys are saying, listen, this isn't sustainable going forward. It's just not right for the fans. We need to come together right away. So this is what Bryson was saying yesterday. John Rahm in some ways has basically been saying that ever since he left and took the money. But it's pretty rich that those guys leaving to Live is what really was the disruption that has completely blown up golf. And I know that there's fault behind the PGA and Jay Monahan as well. But to basically take the money, realize you're playing in front of 30 people on Live and no one's watching it. And now as we get ready for the Masters to say, oh, well, you know what? It's really important for the future of golf to figure this out and get it together. Pretty rich coming from guys on the Live Tour.
It is, isn't it? Yeah.
I mean, DeChambeau's never had any level of self-awareness to begin with, so I kind of not surprised with him. But some of the other guys, I'm like, bro, read the room. You guys were the ones. I mean, listen, you got the money, but sometimes you make your bed, you got to sleep in it. And that's where they are right now. I don't know how many people are watching the Valero. I know no one's going to be watching Live Miami. And then we get together for a legitimate tournament next week in the Masters. But Rory made a great point. The Masters is unique. The Masters will always have viewership. But if the PGA Tour ratings are down 20% this year, which they are, what's the US Open, the PGA, the British Open going to be? Like, there's no guarantees that those are just still right where they're at. Like, they've pissed off so many people that I think there's a lot of people that have just sort of stepped away and don't follow golf like they did before. And it reminds me of IndyCar back in the 90s. Like, they essentially ruined their sport by splitting to the IRL and kart, and they never really regained it ever. And I mean, obviously they got all this Saudi money and there's an injection of tour. Golf's not going anywhere, but the health of it, like, if I'm not sure we'll ever see it in the foreseeable future where it was even 2 years ago or anything close to during the Tiger era. It's crazy.
Like before the split. Yeah. It'll be fascinating to see where we are at with golf 2 years from now. I mean, let's see how this thing continues to play out, because there's always there's some wheels in motion and then there's some stalling, and we'll see how they look. Bottom line is we get the Masters next week. So I'm excited, really excited for that. All right, Huss, let's dive into the NHL last night. Then we'll bring in Jake. We'll get to some NHL stuff tonight, obviously. I got a little MLB two-gamer that hits at plus 209 tonight. Lay that one out for you as well. We got Ovechkin versus Crosby in a big one tonight as well in the National Hockey League, which I look forward to setting up. But let's start with last night. Puck drop for the first time since Torts lost it against the Calgary Flames, apparently. Line brawl to start a game, which I had a lot of time for last night, buddy. I'll just say it.
Listen, if that would be happening all the time, it would be a joke. I mean, I think we all know fighting is much diminished now in the league, although we are seeing it a little more as tensions get up closer to the playoffs. But that was an absolute circus. And, Travis Green was right to say, I mean, if Peter Laviolette's all pissed off, he should look at his own players, and in particular, Matt Rempe. I mean, Rempe with those two cheap shots and refused to engage McDermott the last time they played, and then got kicked out and suspended for 4 games for that elbow on Siegenthaler. Yeah. I mean, of course, was something happened. And listen, Laviolette puts out his lineup card first. He was the one that started Rempe. He was the one that had.
Because Gastic said today that it would have been the Devils that put out the lineup card first, and then it was the Rangers that responded.
Excuse me. Yeah, sorry. That game was in.
It was in New York, right? So they would have had last chance. Yeah. But the Devils aren't giving them I mean, I guess the Rangers could have said no, but the Devils throw out that lineup. I mean, Rangers could have started Panarin, I guess, but I don't know if that ends well either. Really, this just had to happen. It had to happen.
I don't think they're running after those guys. Yeah, no, Gadzik's right. Yeah, the home team obviously has the. They can respond to it.
They would respond to it.
I mean, like, is Curtis Lazar a big swinger? John Marino? Like, I'm sure it might have been a little different if they thought that it was going to go full bore the way that it did. I mean, funniest thing is Jacob Trouba has a fight. It's almost the only way you can see anything of Trouba's fight is if you look at some of those videos from the press box of people that just did them on their phones. Because they didn't have enough cameras to catch them all going at the same time.
It was funny. I don't know who we were talking to. It must have just been a text message. A really funny text that came in today. It was like, can you imagine if you were like 5 minutes late for the Rangers-Devils game? I was like,
that was my tweet.
Oh, is that your tweet?
Yeah.
Oh,
like, imagine
I didn't
up
see
5
that.
minutes late.
I didn't see it. I didn't know it was your tweet. Somebody texted that in this morning. And then, but yeah, the camera work on it sucked. And we were asked about that this morning. I said, well, I mean, whoever's directing that hockey game hasn't done one of these before, because the last one happened however many years ago. They probably don't have experience for the full ice brawl, because you're right. All you saw was the main event and like the odd group sort of in the background. And I was like, what are they doing here? Like, widen this thing out. Let us see what's happening.
Well, and luckily, social media and everyone that was there was so many different views of it. But the hilarious thing about it was Lazar technically was the first fight. So all those guys get thrown to the box, and then they said, hey, guys, these are all secondary fights. You're all kicked out of the game. Both teams had to go with 14 skaters for the rest of the game. I don't know if you checked the ice time in that game last night.
I didn't.
Luke Hughes played 32:50. I think he played almost 33 minutes. And the Ranger blue line, all of them played 30 minutes, like 29 and change. So it was, it's a game that people will be talking about for a while, for sure. Most people, because of the fight, lock shoppers because of the regulation win for the Rangers as part of a back-to-back partner parlay victory.
The Edmonton Oilers last night getting pumped by the Dallas Stars. Dallas looks good, man. Dallas looks really good. I think you got to start settling in here on a Colorado-Winnipeg first-round matchup.
Oh, yeah, we're there.
Yeah.
We're there. I mean, listen, if you look at just with that win last night, and Colorado, after that great run, lost to Montreal and lost to Columbus in the past week. So Dallas is looking like they're going to be the number one seed as well in the West right now. They've got 3 points on Vancouver, both with 6 games remaining. So, yeah, the West could go through Dallas. The Jets, in all likelihood, are going to be playing Colorado. Jets can clinch their spot with a win tonight against Calgary. And you'll love this, Dusty. Like, this is the biggest game for so many reasons. For myself, WST, Lock Shop. So, first of all, the Jets can clinch with a win. Second of all, it has been declared the biggest game of the season and a true must-win for WST. Because as you remember at the start of the year, we worked with the Jets and we put together a 4-game pack where a bunch of Winnipeg Sports Talk listeners all in. So we'll have 50, 60 people at the game tonight in a group. Well, we took 4 games. They lost to the Kings. They lost to the Oilers.
Oh, no.
And they lost to the Leafs. So we are 0-3. And just to, it's like, okay, they're 0-3. They're 24-11 at home. So we have somehow just selected this. So if they cannot beat Calgary tonight, the future of the WST pack basically hangs within the balance. And then the other one, and I don't know how many of you rode with me when coming out of the All-Star break, I guess, we had the NHL futures and there was the total over-unders on the points. And I made a rather sizable wager on the Calgary Flames under 86.5. And, they came out of that break and actually won 4 in a row. It's looking very, very good right now. They do have 8 games remaining, but they're at 73 points. A Jets win tonight in regulation would just about lock that one in. And I tell you what, it's been great for futures lately. We got the Morrissey future last week. with the win on Monday, the Jets cashed the over points, over 94.5 for the season. That one is in. And now we wait for the official elimination of the Calgary Flames and the under 86.5. So there's a lot riding on this one tonight, despite the fact that the Jets are pretty much in, and in all likelihood, playing the Colorado Avalanche in the first round.
All right, we've got a keyword for you that we will get to. I do want to address the DA over in the nasty chat. We just deleted it. I'll just say this, man. I get your emails and I see your messages, but I can't understand any of it. So I have a hard time replying because I don't know exactly what you want. So, I mean, I don't know what to say. I can't understand it.
We know you like the Leafs.
Yeah,
we don't.
I get it. And he says, I'm writing about marble race. I was like, I don't understand. Like, I know us does the marble race, but I don't know what you're writing about the marble race. So
tune in for the marble race Friday afternoon on
All
WST.
Right. There we go. That's
what you need to know.
That's where we get it. All right, hammer the thumbs up over on YouTube if you are watching the Lock Shop today. If you want more winners, we can certainly do that. Let's get our keyword in right now. They're going to bring in Jake. It's the EST Flyway to Vegas. Keyword 4 times per day right here on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your chance to win a trip to Vegas, 2 nonstop flights, 3 nights accommodations, tickets to a Cirque show, presented by Fly YEG and the LVCVA. Nonstop flights to over 50 destinations. Your sports trip starts with a nonstop flight from Fly YEG. And today's keyword, you will text this in to 780-218-9999. 780-218-9999. Today's keyword is, let's see here, bag. B-A-G, as in go get that bag, Lock Shoppers. B-A-G. Just text the word bag to 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. The keyword today is bag. Text that in to 780-218-9999, and you will be in the mix to possibly be our qualifier in the Lock Shop here today as well. This text comes in from Sully. Says, I just checked my account, boys, with Coolbet. It's looking fantastic. Keep doing Sully. What you do, gents. I would agree with that. All right, there he is. Jake Bolen-Moss from Coolbet joins us here today on the Lock Shop. Jakey boy, what's up, buddy?
What's going on, boys? I don't even know where to start with this. This city's teams are awful, like unbelievable. I'm just looking at the box score from the Jays game. I was at a bar with a buddy, and we're kind of watching everything. So I wasn't like dialed into the game. I watched every pitch on Tuesday night, and the result obviously was awesome.
So you missed their hit last night.
Yeah. I was looking at the box score. Dalton Varsho, 1 hit. And that was no hit Monday. Barely walked away with a win on Tuesday. And then 1 hit, 8-0 loss yesterday. The Jays are awful. Leafs lost. I mean, Matthews scored, but the Leafs lost. And then the Raps are on like an all-time. We had a parlay. We did like a Leafs, Jays both to win, Raps to cover. And it lost. I could have bet the opposite. I would have won.
So, the 6, the old in the 6 special, not the night to jump on that.
Yeah.
I saw.
I didn't post that one on the exclusives, but me and my buddy had it, and it was a loser.
I think. I'm glad it's you because Brian. Actually, this is really funny, Jake. Brian Hayes last night tweeted, "Some guys had a Toronto parlay tonight as the most lopsided parlay loss of all time," and I was going to reply and be like, "What type of idiots would put a parlay out there on the Raptors and the Jays right now?" And so then here we are. I mean, the Raptors. What they lose by last night, like 43 points, 15 in a row now. Like they are an absolute disaster.
But it's awesome because they need that top pick, and if they don't get top 6, they're going to lose that pick. So they're doing exactly what they need to do. So I'm not even mad about that. The Jays are going to do this to us all season. The Jays are going to do this to us all season. We're going to think they're good. The pitching's going to be awesome, and then nothing's going to come of it. We're going to never hit the ball ever. They suck. And guess what? The management's all worried about the new Rogers Center and how it looks, and all these people posting, "Oh my God, look how great this looks!" And I'm going to be a fool. I'm going to be down there like an idiot, and they're going to play games like this all season long. They're just never going to get hits. And you trade away all the guys that get hits. You trade away Teoscar. You trade away Lourdes. And all those guys do is mash baseballs.
Yeah, it's incredible that they somehow are 3-4 on the season. They've got a negative 14 run differential. They have only scored 22 runs, and the majority of those are in 2 games. I am still not losing faith. I think that the water will sort of rise to the mean at some point. But I knew this was a terrible time to be playing Houston as well, I have to say. I mean, they got swept by the Yankees in the opening series and then come back home. You knew that they would be better, but I didn't think it would be this bad. And thank God for Davis Schneider. Like, can you imagine if he just had a weak ground out at that point and they're 2-5 and literally have done nothing with the bat in 3 games against the Astros? Their entire offense was one hit.
Can we talk about David Schneider for a second? What's the deal with him having a good game and then following that up by not being in the lineup the next day? I don't care, righty, lefty. If the guy hits the game-winning bomb on Tuesday night, you don't put him in you don't find a way to get him in the lineup next day. I gotta watch IKF get up to the plate 4 times. Like, unbelievable, man.
Is IKF driving everyone crazy yet? That was the number one prediction. I mean, it's
only game. What are we, game 7? Like you said, they're 3-4. It's only game 7, and this is how I'm acting. So you can't even imagine what the dog days are going to look like when we have no hockey and the basketball's over, and I'm just sitting here like, and I just can't believe I'm still watching this team. When I said I was going to boycott them at the end of last year, and I should have, because I was right. I was right, and I'm an idiot for even coming back and watching this.
155 games left, and we didn't even say hi to us today. We're like, Jake, what's up? You're like, can you believe these Toronto teams? Oh my god! But I mean, completely justified.
I thought I'd come in hot. I figured it would get us going here. So,
well, I mean, you would have known that the Leafs were going to lose if you watched the Lock Shop yesterday. I mean, that was easy. Well, Lightning plus 110. We were all over that. Go ahead, us.
I'm just happy that you are LinkedIn, still employed by Coolbet, because we are putting some stress right now on the financials, I think, with these back-to-back partner parlays and everything else that's going our way.
Listen, I don't know what it is with the start of months. And I don't know if Patty's talked about this on the show, but whatever it is about, like we have an exclusive sheet, and then at the end of the month, Ev usually throws together like profit loss and stuff like that, so we can we can track how they're doing, turnover, all that stuff. And it is, you could hit the button. It's going to happen again every start of a month. You guys cash a parlay. It is almost a guarantee, and I there's no guarantees in betting.
Yeah,
stay cool, bet responsibly. But I kid you not, whatever it is about the start of a month, you guys always cash a big one. And he went 9-1, 575 the last 2 days, the 3rd and 4th of the month. So
pretty excited about it. Pretty excited about it.
It's a lot of happy people in the chat right now.
Yeah, well, they have to be. Yeah, exactly. And like Jake said, I mean, we're not always going to bang out these parlays on back-to-back days, but when we do, it feels excellent. And pretty excited about that. We do have big ones tonight in the National Hockey League. Before we get there, Jake, do you usually sit back and just wait for Huss's WrestleMania plays, or are you a WrestleMania guy yourself?
I'm not a WrestleMania guy.
Okay.
I'll be completely transparent. I don't even want to pretend like I am. I feel like I might embarrass myself. I will be tuned in tomorrow. I'm excited for Huss's picks. A ton of options. Our guy, Jared, put together our offering over on Coolbet.
It's the best ever.
It's the really best good. Ever. It's really good.
Never seen anything like it, to be perfectly honest.
I love it. I've never seen anything like it. This is, I can't wait tomorrow. You know what? Tomorrow, I think we just put you on a one shot, and I'm not even here. And I just sit out on the couch in there, and we watch you for 50 minutes cook on WrestleMania. I think that's a good idea.
Huss should get on and do WrestleMania, World Men's Curling. I think the Women's March Madness is back tomorrow night.
Disc golf.
Just do everything that not a lot of people bet as much on, and we won't even do an NHL tomorrow. Just like it'll be
a wide world of wagering special.
Yes,
on the Lock Shop.
I love that.
God, that'll be great. All right, you guys want to get into the NHL tonight?
Let's do it.
We might as well. I got your starting goalies, and then we'll take a look at what we like tonight. Pretty decent selection tonight. Here's what we've got. So far confirmed, between the pipes, Nedeljkovic will start for the Pittsburgh Penguins. Washington Capitals, you got to have a piece of this game. We'll get to it when I get. Let me give you the goalies, and we'll get to that game. Lindgren confirmed for Washington. So Lindgren versus Nedeljkovic there. Sorokin versus Tarasov in an all-Russian battle. Islanders against the Columbus Blue Jackets. Bobrovsky confirmed to start for the Panthers. They got to get themselves out of this slide right now. Korpisalo will go for the Ottawa Senators. That game is in Ottawa. In Montreal, Tampa Bay rolls in there to play the Habs after beating the Leafs last night. Caden Primo will start for the Montreal Canadiens. Matt Tompkins, unconfirmed at this point, for the Lightning. A couple of unconfirms in the Bruins-Canes game, Swayman and Freddie Anderson. Justus Annunen will start for the Colorado Avalanche. Philip Gustafson on the other side for the Minnesota Wild. Hellebuck in the starter's net for the Jets. Dustin Wolf likely for the Calgary Flames. It'll be Binnington versus Saros, and a big one between the Blues and the Nashville Predators. And then the Los Angeles Kings, after taking care of business last night, Big Save It David likely to start tonight against Mackenzie Blackwood for the San Jose Sharks. Huss, let's start with you, man. Let's just start in general with this Pittsburgh-Washington game. Crosby OV, and I said on the show this morning, where these two franchises are headed and the future's kind of in doubt of everybody. Huss, this is a huge game tonight between these two teams, and I'm not sure we get a Crosby-Ovechkin meaningful game like this maybe ever again. Who knows?
No, you're exactly right. Just to refresh people, if they're unaware of what the playoff situation is in the East, the Caps are holding down the second wild card, 82 points. They have played 74 games. Pittsburgh is 3 points back, but have played one more game. And listen, just while we're at it, if you go to Coolbet and click on NHL and on the futures, they've got the usual things: Cup winner, East, West. But there's also, we asked, the boys provided, as they always do, there are props to make the playoffs right now for those teams in the East. So Detroit is yes, minus 115, no, minus 105. The Caps is a pick'em on either side, minus 110. The Flyers are minus 105 to make it, minus 115 to the no. Islanders, plus 200, yes. No is minus 250. And this really came out of, I was wondering, what could we get for Pittsburgh to make the playoffs? Plus 600. When we cashed last night, I figured when we were asking about this, we got to go in. I'm in on Sid. I figure it's worth a sprinkle at 6-1 for the Penguins to make the playoffs. And listen, if they're going to make the playoffs, they have to win these head-to-head games. They get Washington, they get Philly, they get Detroit. Or no, maybe not Philly. They get the Islanders. I'm on Pittsburgh tonight. They are red hot. They have 11 points in their 9 of their last possible 10. And we saw what they did in the third period against Jersey with their season on the line, scoring 5. The Caps have lost 3 in a row right now. The Caps just are not very good. They've got a minus 35 goal differential. Pittsburgh's actually plus 1. Sort of crazy that they're in these spots that they are. You would think it would be opposite. But I love Pittsburgh in this game. And if you believe in Sid and the run that he's on right now, if there's one guy that can put a team on his back in this group of have-nots, it's that team. They are playing great right now. He's leading the way, scoring at least 2 a game. I am on Pittsburgh on the road tonight as a very slight favorite at minus 116.
I absolutely love it. I also just put $10 on Pittsburgh to make the playoffs, because if they win tonight, that 6-1 is gone. Right? If you believe in the Penguins, you're not going to get a better number, because after tonight, that might be it. If they win tonight, you're not getting 6-1. So if you have any faith in the Penguins, or just like the number at plus 600, definitely now would be the time to get on this one. That would be the play for me as well. Sidney Crosby it would be a hell of a run here if he could pull this thing off, because I'm not saying he's doing it by himself, because I know they got some other talented guys there, but he has been driving that team night in and night out just to keep their slim playoff hopes alive right now. And a game tonight against, as Huss made the case for Washington on the other side of it, they've not been great lately. Pittsburgh at minus 116. Absolutely love that one tonight. Jake, what are you looking at in the National Hockey League tonight?
Yeah, I mean that's the game that I have circled. Obviously, I mean I'm going to say for those looking for what Huss and Dust are talking about, if you go to the NHL tab down to the futures, the teams playoffs, we had those yesterday. So yeah, if you want to get on with those guys on Pitt, I like that. Tonight, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm interested. This Carolina game is interesting. Like for the Bruins to be plus 130 dogs is surprising. You know, I mean, they've won 2 in a row. They don't lose a whole ton. I know Carolina's pretty good in themselves, but that one stuck out to me. I thought that was a nice number we're getting on the Bruins. That's right at the top of the at the Coolbet list there. But Pens, I like. I think the way Sid's been playing, like we talk about hockey. You know, I think hockey's probably the most team game among all the big four. Like it really comes down to like everybody. Where I think so, you know, NBA, we know how star driven that is, and it, you know, it's a individual type league. But what Sid's doing right now is incredible. I really like Pitt tonight. I think they can go in and get the job done, and they're that much closer to that final wild card spot. You know, he's not ready to give in just yet. I had them crossed out on my list. I figured a couple weeks ago they were probably toast, and you know, I should never count out Sid. So those are two that I have my eye on, the Bruins and then the Penguins. But yeah, I'd like to hear what else you guys think.
Well, I got a couple other ones. The Coolbet hotline of the day today, and I know we don't usually toss Edmonton or Winnipeg on the parlay, so I'm not expecting that tonight, but I did take Winnipeg in regulation tonight at minus 118 for the Coolbet hotline of the day. I like Kucherov over 1.5 points tonight in Montreal at minus 111. He had a really good game last night, obviously in that heated race right now for the Art Ross Trophy. Tampa's just minus 157 on the money line tonight in the back-to-back situation against the Montreal Canadiens. I mean, their number in regulation's got to be a plus number if you like the Lightning tonight. They're plus 102 in regulation tonight as well. Hush, you got a take on this Blues Preds game?
I do have a take.
I figured you probably would.
And I'm riding with the road dog, plus 167 on the St. Louis Blues. Listen, the Preds had that crazy run where they went a month and a half without losing or whatever it was in regulation. They've now lost 3 in a row. And again, getting back to the standings, this is, for all intents and purposes, an elimination game for the St. Louis Blues. They go into tonight's matchup. I believe it is 6 back of Nashville. Nashville's at 90 points. The Kings are in the final, are the final wild card right now with 89, and the Blues are at 84. 7 games remaining, and complicating things for St. Louis. They've only got 29 regulation wins and 36 regulation overtime wins, so they will not win a tiebreak with the Predators for sure, and in all likelihood, probably not the Los Angeles Kings. So they have to have this. The Blues have been impressive lately. Binnington is playing great. The Oilers saw that earlier this week. And I just think that they are such a desperate team. They can rise to the occasion and find a way to win with their season on the line. Do I expect them to make the playoffs? No, I don't. But I think this is a spot that they're actually undervalued. Like Nashville overall this season, slightly better than St. Louis. But again, we're just thinking of them as the team that's been the hottest team in the league. Well, they're not that anymore. So I think, like, I don't know. I don't think we're putting it on the parlay, but I don't mind firing on the St. Louis at plus 167.
Do you think they should be more like a plus 130? Plus 135 type
I was thinking plus 135, something like that. Like, I just think right now the Preds are a little overvalued. And listen, it's not like they've been playing brutal. I mean, they were right there with Boston, and then it kind of fell apart at the end. But a Boston game for a team like Nashville, you always get up for. There's visiting fans in. You know you're testing yourself against one of the best in the league. I think in this game, they sort of feel like they've already passed St. Louis. I mean, they'll say, hey, this is a big one. We got to win it. St. Louis is playing for their lives tonight. And I sometimes like jumping on a little bit more of a desperate team. So, and it always seems to end up where for the leagues, things happen to make things look a little closer as they get towards the end. So anyways, I'm on St. Louis at plus 167 for this one.
Like you said, though, probably don't want to throw it in a parlay. Probably don't need to. If you want the Blues at that value at plus 167, go play it, and it's going to be pretty good value. We all like the Penguins, so that one's locked into this parlay for sure. Huss, what do you think about Tampa on back-to-backs here against the Montreal Canadiens? I know we just saw. I know we just saw Florida roll through these two and drop one in Toronto and drop one in Montreal. But Tampa did win last night in Toronto. Tampa's been playing way better than Florida over the last little while. This minus 157 is obviously being adjusted. There's no Vassam Tompkins is going to start tonight. They're on the road. It's back-to-backs, but I think I still really like Tampa Bay on this play.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it's very similar numbers. I mean, Florida is minus 153 in Ottawa. Tampa's minus 157. Tampa was the team that played last night, but I feel better about Tampa than I do about about Florida. Florida right now, they've won twice in their last 10 games. I've seen that look on Paul Maurice's face before. I know what he's going through right now. So Florida is out. No, listen, I think and Tampa, they are playing so well right now. They're making a push. I mean, they're making a push. Like, how close are they to Toronto right now?
Well, after the win last night, they got, what, 2 or 3 points back?
They're 4 points back
right now. 4 points back.
And they do have the tiebreaker. So, I mean, they could get to within 2 points of Toronto. And, I mean, right now, I mean, I still expect the Leafs to be there in that spot. But anyways, Tampa is definitely playing Tampa's the hot hand right now. I don't mind the Tampa Bay Lightning in that spot. And as I said, if you guys like St. Louis, you could convince me to throw them in on it. It would give us a much better number, but safer play is probably Tampa.
Well, the only other one that another one that I'm looking at, I see Rod Z over here as well. He likes the New York Islanders tonight. Another one that the Islanders simply have to have. Now, I know Columbus they lost 6 in a row. Then they beat Pittsburgh in a shootout. Then they had that win over Colorado back on Monday. The New York Islanders on the other side of this, trying to remain in the mix here in this dog race at the bottom of the East. They've won 4 of 6. They've won 3 of their last 4. They beat Chicago. They beat Philly. They beat Florida. They lost to Tampa here over about the last week or so. I mean, they basically have to have this. So I don't mind riding with Rod Z on the Islanders tonight. If either of you guys are super opposed to that, we certainly don't have to. I think we stay away from Florida until they kind of figure things out. I'm not sure where the value is on the Kings-Sharks game tonight. Kings played last night. Puck line's like minus 1.5. I don't necessarily love that on the back-to-backs, even against San Jose. Oh, I could be convinced. What's the regulation number? That's still going to be like over. That's minus 172 in regulation for the Kings. I don't hate that. I don't know. Huss, what else? Jake, what do you guys think for a third game here? If we got Tampa and Pittsburgh locked in, what else do we want? I mean, in the Blues.
Do we have?
I mean, could do Blues.
What about Colorado, Minnesota? Avalanche 7-2-1 in their last 10. Their 2 losses. They've actually lost 3 of 4. One of them was in OT. But they're coming off a 4-1 loss to Columbus. I have a hard time thinking that Jared Bednar doesn't get his team in a much better spot going into Minnesota tonight. And Minnesota, right now, basically done. I've got a lot of time for Colorado in this situation. I think that they're one of the best teams, and they played so well. They're going to try to not get into any sort of a late season funk like other teams have been in.
This will help convince you maybe on the Minnesota or on the Colorado side of this. And first of all, head to head, if you believe into that, 4 of their last 5, Colorado's won. But Minnesota, over their last 10, here are their wins: Ottawa, San Jose, Anaheim, Arizona. So that's all they've had for wins here over the last little while. And those are the worst teams in the National Hockey League. So what is it, Colorado? What's the number, 162, Huss? Do you want to do that, or do you want to go in reg?
Minus 162.
Minus 162 puts the whole parlay up to about plus 393 pre-boost, which would be just Tampa, Pittsburgh, and Colorado money line.
Tampa, Pittsburgh, Colorado. You know that if we include the Islanders, it's plus 670. I know that's a 4-gamer.
I mean, I was looking at the Islanders earlier.
The Jets and reg is something that I actually could get behind.
Even for the parlay. Hey, that's what I had today. It was minus 118. It's minus 119 right now.
And the fact that you brought it up, I mean, it's a little different than if I'm stumping for my own team. But listen, I mean, Calgary's coming off a loss to Anaheim. They are done. Markstrom's been their best player. He's not playing. And make no mistake about it, the Jets, they've snapped their losing streak against the Kings. But this is a team that has to get into a better gear right now. It's the second game with the new lines. Hellebuck's back in net starting. I've got a lot of time for that.
So do you want to replace one of the money line plays?
Yeah, I think what we would do if we're going to throw Jets and reg in there at plus 119.
Take out Tampa on the second half of a back-to-back? Or Colorado against Mini?
The only thing I'll say about the Jets is I assume we will want to do WST parlay too. And I'm sure we'll have Jets and reg on there as well.
But you know what? I'll add in. We'll do some more player props on that one, and we'll just have Jets money line on that one. Okay,
sounds good. Yeah, no, the thought of having everything, all the parlays riding on the Jets tonight might be a stressful one. But I mean, I'm cool with it. That was just a thought.
Yeah. So here it is. So if we go Pittsburgh, Colorado money line, Jets and reg, it's plus 454.
Okay.
If we go, I think that's probably the one that we go for. We get it up to above 5.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say too. I take out Tampa, the back-to-backs against Montreal. Go Colorado here, coming off that loss. Pittsburgh, Colorado, Winnipeg, plus 454. Good to go.
Yeah, and the Winnipeg is in Winnipeg in regulation. Money line on Pittsburgh. Money line on Pittsburgh and Colorado.
Beauty.
And then we'll fire a play on the Blues. Heck, we've been so hot right now. I might just put together a 5 or 6 gamer, which I don't normally do, and see if we can just keep on riding this one.
Keep rolling while we're hot. Yeah. All right, guys. Huss, what's coming up Winnipeg Sports Talk today?
JP VJ is going to jump on. We'll talk Jets with him. Ken Weeb will have the latest from the morning skate. Do a little soccer segment with Hector Vergara, and then all about tonight's game for the most part coming up. Hey, quickly, fill me in on this 2-gamer that you've got in the diamond.
Yeah, I got Pirates and Cards plus 209 today. If you want to hop on that one tonight. Cards are going up.
Pirates?
Yeah. The Pirates and the Cards. Let me see here. I hit it earlier. Let me just bring this back up. Yeah, Pirates tonight against the Cards. From some of the stuff I was reading, pitching advantage for Pittsburgh tonight. And then the Cardinals against the Marlins, who would love to have the Blue Jays start right now. If you're the Marlins, I mean, they're 0-7 coming out of the gate here. So the Cardinals minus 143 tonight, plus the Pirates at minus 114. That game starts at 2 o'clock Edmonton time, and the other one starts at 2:15. So you got to get on this here in the next couple of hours. But Pirates and Cards plus 209 if you want to roll in some afternoon baseball with us as well.
It's slow, and the Tigers and Mets are playing a doubleheader right now. Yeah. I actually did a 3-gamer of all the other games. It's actually kind of funny. You took 2. Mine is on the other ones. Listen, the Tigers are 4-0. I don't know how they're an underdog to the Mets in any circumstance or situation. The Mets are actually winning the opening game. I can't see the Mets sweeping. So we're going to take the Tigers as a plus 115 money line underdog, parlayed with the Twins at minus 149. And my Royals against the White Sox. That comes out to plus 468. Tigers, Twins, Royals money line. And again, Tigers, that's in game 2. They're playing right now, trailing 3-1 to the Mets in the first game of the doubleheader. So, watch a little baseball this afternoon, and then get ready for a big night of pucks this evening.
All right, boys. Jake, good popping on, man. And we'll chat with you next week.
Boys, partner parlay is already on.
Oh, it's already up.
Already
and
up.
We just did it.
Let's go.
What's the number?
Have dogs watching.
Give us the goods. Give us the goods.
That's 525.
Respect.
By the way, that's dogs. Again these boosts as well, and with and I mentioned this yesterday on the program, like that one that we won with yesterday was I think by percentages, by everything, the best boost we ever got. Because after making those bets, Tampa was originally plus 110 when we were talking about it. They finished at minus 103, a couple other ones, and it didn't adjust the number. So we appreciated that. Plus 525, Penguins and Avs and Jets and Reg. It's up there right now. Let's make it 3 in a row.
Quick moving.
Let's do it.
I like it, boys. We're going to call our qualifier here for the EST Flyway to Vegas. Hustle, chat with you tomorrow. Jake, don't worry about the Raptors and Jays, man. Just focus on the Leafs playoffs, all right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I got it.
I worry.
That always ends well.
I worry about Jake sometimes. I really do. Poor guy.
See you guys.
See you later, guys. There you go. Let's get to your EST qualifier. And what a nice surprise. Matt Cassian just rolled in here. 2 guys and a goalie. All 3 of us in studio today, which is going to be a lot of fun. Make sure you turn on autoplay. That'll take you right on over to 2 guys. We got lots to get to from the hockey game last night. Zacticum, who's our qualifier here?
We got Sonny D on the line.
All right, Sonny D. Let's bring in Sonny. Sonny, congratulations. You are 1 step closer to a trip to Vegas.
Yeah, thanks, my man.
Hey,
appreciate it.
have you been to Vegas?
Been there a couple times.
Been there a couple times, so you know what you're doing. So what are you most looking forward to going back if you win this trip?
Just down with the spear, my friend. The spear.
Ah, okay, yeah, you can't complain. We went down there as part of our deal with FlyYG. Absolutely amazing. All right, man, good luck.
Thanks, man.
There you go. Another lucky, happy qualifier right here on Edmonton Sports Talk. Tell your friends, iHeart, tune in, EdmontonSportsTalk.com, watch on YouTube, get those keywords, and have a chance. When it's all said and done, I think it's like a 1 in 140 chance here of winning a trip for 2 nonstop flights down to Vegas, 3 nights accommodations, and tickets to a Cirque show. 2 guys and the goalie coming up. Whole crew in studio today. This is going to be a lot of fun. Cass even wore plaid like me. It's very exciting. That's going to do it for the Lock Shop today. Thank you very much for joining us. Good luck tonight. Let's hit another parlay, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.